ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवते नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, welcome all of you. Sorry to keep you waiting for pretty long. Today we are discussing on a very important topic on Srila Prabhupada book study. In your spiritual life, Prabhupada book study is like the foundation of a building. Generally, when you go to somebody's house, they show you the drawing room, they show you the kitchen, they show you the whole house, they show the garden and everything, but nobody can show you the foundation, isn't it? Foundation is below the ground. At the same time, without a foundation, you cannot erect a very tall tower, a skyscraper building. Of course, you can erect. If you do that, the whole thing will collapse. Similarly, in your spiritual life also, the most important foundation of spiritual life is the study of the sacred literature and the spiritual literature, which is Srila Prabhupada books for us. And those boys who practice spiritual life externally, but do not spend time reading the Prabhupada's books regularly, and they may do for a short while. After some time, their faith may become sentimental. Like there are boys who started with ISKCON because they didn't read Prabhupada's books, then they became, people who hop and jump from ISKCON to some other Baba, here, some other Baba there, this Guru, that Guru, and various organizations. And some of them sentimentally went and took initiation from some Baba. And later on, they became misfit in ISKCON. And there are other students who don't read Prabhupada books regularly because of not knowing the philosophy well. They became weak-minded and got into watching porn and watching videos in YouTube, dirty videos, and polluted their minds and degraded their lives, and eventually got lost by the current of Maya. And they have fallen in prey to Maya some, and gone into oblivion. No more seen now. Mm. So the world is like a very, very powerful current, uh, which is swallowing and carrying everybody, all the living beings. Like any of you, I don't know whether you've been to this Harkipodi in Haridwar. Huh? In Haridwar, if you want to take a bath in Ganga, Ganga Pravah is very fast. Water moves very, very fast there. They have put a chain there. Huh? So you can hold on to that chain and take a bath. If you want to, brush your body, you have to hold the chain with one hand. Do like this. Then hold the chain with this hand and do it. If you leave both the hands, you're gone. Huh? It'll just carry you away. Similarly, we have to hold on to Prabhupada books, like that chain. Then only you are safe in this world. Otherwise, we'll be carried away by the current of Maya. And also those who don't study Prabhupada books regularly, they feel weak. Just like on Ekadashi day, when you fast from grains, you feel weak. Next day morning, Dwadashi, when you eat grains, then you feel strong again. So Srila Kaviraj Goswami, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, compares reading the spiritual literature to eating grains. When you're eating grains, you feel strong. When you don't eat grains, you feel weak on a fasting day. So spiritually also, if you read these books, you get the clarity of sight to know what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is beneficial, what is harmful, what is small-term goal, what is long-term goal, what is smaller picture, broader picture, everything is clear. Then you can walk ahead with confidence with the right map in your hand. Shastras are the right map. But if you are not reading regularly, then we become very spiritually weak, and we lose sight of the direction. We make wrong decisions in life. We pick up something which gives pleasure instantly, and we often ignore things which are very vital for us, because of inability to make appropriate decisions, because of not reading the books. The books give clarity of vision. Just like when you are going in a car, say the front glass of the car is covered by fog. So what they generally do, they throw some water, water jet, you've seen that? And then they do this. What do you call this? Wiper. When they do this wiper cleanses the fog. Then you see the road with clarity. Similarly, for us to have clarity of vision in the world around us, what is the clarity of vision? First thing in clarity of vision is to know the difference between matter and spirit. Matter is dead and spirit is alive. Matter is inferior, spirit is superior. Spirit can manipulate matter. Matter in and of itself cannot do anything. If you keep a table like this here, a million years it will be in the same place. It cannot budge a millimeter because it's a dead matter. When there is spirit present, then the body also grows. Matter never grows. Matter only undergoes depreciation. So one should know the clear-cut essential differences between what is spirit and what is matter. And then one should see the controller of both, which is Ishwar, who is controlling the Jada and Chetan. How Jada and Chetan are being controlled by one Supreme Ishwar, and how the presence of the Ishwar is making the sun shine in the east in the morning, sun set in the west, moon shines in the sky, the wind blows, the crops grow, the flowers blossom, and the fruits ripen, the grains fructify, the seasons change. All these miraculous things are happening in nature because of the presence of Ishwar, one Param Ishwar, one Supreme Lord. And that Supreme Lord is creating this world and maintaining this world. We are not maintaining anything in this world. We are just using things in this world. So when one can have clear vision that he is the master and we are all servants, everything is under his control. Not even a blade of grass can move without his will. When you have that clarity very clearly, and you know your position as servant of God, then you can actually walk the path of the scriptures appropriately. The scriptures say, do this, you will do it. They say, don't do this, you will not do it. When one thinks I am the center of the world and everything revolves around me and everyone should be at my beck and call, that imaginative, false uh, understanding of being the pivot of the world is what modern education teaches you. Most of the schools and colleges, boys think, I am the center of the world and everyone exists to give me pleasure. Huh? You'll be shocked to know in Bangalore in 2023, 258 students have committed suicide in just 1 year. Only in Bangalore alone. Huh? Why? Because of wrong training. Huh? Can you 258 in 1 year means? Imagine if they add 100 more to this, it'll be one boy in a day. Correct, no? If it is 365, you can imagine. So very painful information. I just read this morning. Huh? So why children are jumping off or breaking their head and killing themselves? Because they are taught the wrong map of life. Huh? So what is the right map of life? The right map of life begins with this. What is Jad? What is Chetan? Huh? And the master of both Jad and Chetan is Ishwar. And he is creating, he is maintaining, he is running everything. And why he has created this world? This world is a material world. There's a spiritual world. Spiritual world is a pure plane. Material world is a plane where we all have come with some impure desires stored in our mind. And therefore, there is a cutthroat competition, people giving trouble to each other. We have to go from the asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. So we have some homework to do. Huh? Just like say you all are students, you write a computer program. Say there are 100 bugs and 20 bugs you have cleaned up. Hmm. That much program is pure. Huh? Then tomorrow when you start, you will start with 21st bug. 80 bugs you cleared. Huh? I used to do this in my company days when I was a machine design engineer. Huh? As much bugs you have cleared, that much program will run. Huh? So I used to have a big program with 3,000 lines. Huh? Little program will keep running. When all the bugs are cleared, the whole program will run smoothly. Similarly, our mind has bugs like Prabhupada says, these are the bugs occupying the mind. Huh? What are the bugs? He says we have three tendencies: to catch, to beat, and to loot. These are the three bugs. Ravana wanted to catch the hand of Sita. Similarly, a man wanted to catch anybody's hand just because he is lusty. Similarly, when we become angry with somebody, we want to beat them up. There's a tendency passionately. In colleges, you see people catch collar and slap, and that fellow also slaps him. You've seen people beating one another. And also, there is a tendency to loot. Like, for example, Duryodhana wanted to loot the property of Pandavas. Ravana wanted to catch the hand of another man's wife. Similarly, Durvasmani wanted to beat Ambarish with a demon. So these are all impure tendencies in our mind. And to put it even more simply, they are called lust, anger, and greed. So these impurities are dominating our mind. So that's the reason we are suffering. We have to cleanse them by chanting the holy name. And the Ishwar, Parameshwar is giving us opportunity to cleanse our mind and go back to God. That's the goal of life. So you go from an impure plane to a pure plane, from the material world to the spiritual world. And every time you take birth again and again, why are you taking? Because you have cleared only 20, 30 bugs. Then balance bugs you have to clear. Take one more. Then one more. Just like a sculptor, he chisels out unwanted portions of a marble block. And then he takes many days to do it. First day, second day, third day. After maybe 1 or 2 months, a beautiful murti comes out, right? Like that, God is also chiseling out unwanted portions from you, birth after birth. And then when the most beautiful angel-like personality comes out of you, then he sends you back to the spiritual plane. That's the goal of life. How many of you agree that we all have a good side and a bad side also? You agree? You agree? Yeah. So God is removing the bad side by giving us the chanting of the holy name and study of the scriptures, alignment with the scriptures. That's the goal of spiritual life, to remove the negative side of our personality. We have a Hanuman inside, we have a Ravana inside, both. So destroy Ravana. That's why you all have seen in Ramanavami time, they make a big effigy of Ravana. You have seen that in many places, and they burn, which means I want to burn the Ravana within and then nourish Hanuman tendency. Hanuman has Seva Bhav and Ravana has Bhoga Bhav. Ravana means exploit. Hanuman means serve. So we want to increase our serving nature. Once you awaken your serving nature, you will be very happy to serve your mother, your father, your teacher, your friends. And ultimately that propensity comes because you ultimately become a servant of God. Huh? So life has a clear-cut goal. We have a clear map given in the scriptures. So every day is an opportunity given to me to become more positive, more purer, and more aligned with God's will, and become a better human being, a better individual, to do better work for for the world around me, and not create trouble to other living beings. Align with God. So that's the goal. So when you have a clear-cut map in your life, then you have clarity of thought, then you can make proper decisions in life. But you see that because of lack of modern day guidance and education, so many children are committing suicide, unfortunately. So that's why Prabhupada books, I told you, are very lucid and simple. Now, why, instead of saying Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam Puranas, I'm again and again saying Prabhupada books. I will tell you the reason why we are quoting Prabhupada books as very important. Because you will see, Prabhupada wrote his books in plain English, very simple English, in short sentences, easy to understand. Even a child can understand. Prabhupada writes such simple sentences. He says there is Antaranga Shakti, which is spiritual energy. There is Bahiranga Shakti, which is material energy. Prabhupada says. So Antaranga Shakti is presided by Srimati Radharani. And Bahiranga Shakti is presided by Durga. So what is Durga holding in her hands? Yes? Trishul. Anybody knows what is the Trishul? What is the meaning of the Trishul? Anybody knows? We have a mic for them? There is one hand up there. Any student knows? There is one student behind, way behind the given. And she, of course, she actually subjects jivas to three gunas, that's true. Way behind, can give the mic to him? Way behind, it's going, mic is going, yeah.
No, three klesh, Adi Adhyatmic klesh, Adi Bhautik klesh, Adi Devi klesh.
Can you say what are they? Adi Atmic means what?
From mind and body.
Body gives diseases and mind has depression, loneliness and all that. Okay? Mental illness and all that. Okay? And then second one? Adi Bhautika means?
Adi Bhautik means cyclone, natural.
Oh no, Adi Bhautik is the sufferings caused by other living entities.
Other living beings.
Like mosquitoes, snakes, or even pickpocketers, or even somebody who may trouble you, thieves, or other mosquito-like people also who trouble you. There are people who may trouble you. So that is Adi Bhautika. And Adi Daivika?
Natural calamities.
The Adi Daivika is coming through the nature like cyclones and tornadoes, and like we have this tsunami, earthquakes and things like that. So, thank you. So those three are the Trishul of Durga. Adhyatmika, Adi was one coming from our own body and mind, one coming from other living beings, one coming from the nature. So these are the three ways she inflicts sufferings. Now, why is Durga giving suffering to us? Who is she? Why is she here? On the other hand, if you see Antaranga Shakti, Srimati Radharani, what is she carrying? Is she carrying Trishul? You all have seen in Radha Govind temple. What is she carrying? Anybody has seen? In one hand, she is carrying a garland. Other hand, there is a guldasta. There is a bouquet type of thing. So this garland is to be offered to Govind Dev. She's having one garland to offer to Krishna. And the other hand, she's having a bouquet. So what is the difference between somebody showing a trishul at you, somebody showing bouquet at you? What is the difference? Very simple. You go to any meeting, they invite you. Do they show a trishul at you? What do they show? What do they give you? They give a bouquet. Bouquet means full of flowers. Guldasta, correct now? So the bouquet means, sir, you are most welcome, and we express our affection to you by giving bouquet. If they are showing trishul, you can understand you are not wanted there. Correct now? So Durga is saying, get out, get out. And Radharani is saying, come here, beta, come here, come here. So you have invitation in the spiritual world. In the material world, you have Bhagavatam Lord Chalo. Huh? Very simple. Huh? Durga is telling you that you have come to a foreign place here with intention to enjoy independently. See, for a child to be with parents is natural, correct? No? If a child snatches away the hand from parents and goes to enjoy, alone, suddenly the child sees a big truck is coming, he runs to the other side, a big elephant is coming, then he is frightened. He thinks, what a foolish thing I did, leaving my mother and father. Huh? Similarly, we have left the spiritual world and come here and we are facing many dangers. So that's why Radha and Krishna, they're welcoming us. Come to the spiritual world and be happy here. This is your true home. Huh? Antaranga Shakti. So Antaranga Shakti is like moonlight to the moon. Huh? Prabhupada says. And Bahiranga Shakti, external energy, is like the cloud to the sun. The cloud is blocking our vision of the sun. Whereas the moon and moonlight and moon are connected. Antaranga Shakti is the spiritual energy. Bahiranga Shakti is external energy. So Prabhupada has given like this kind of very simple, lucid explanation. We have to go from external energy to internal energy, from this material world to spiritual world, by surrendering to Krishna. And his language is very simple English, no difficulty. He explains, how does he explain? What is the difference between soul and body? Huh? Prabhupada says, the body is like a car and soul is like a driver. In the Kathopanishad, there is an example given, body is like a chariot and soul is like the passenger, it says. But Prabhupada didn't use chariot because how many people go to office in chariot nowadays? Huh? So Prabhupada used the example of car because immediately they can understand. Similarly, Prabhupada says Brahma is the first engineer of the universe. Prabhupada says that everybody can understand what engineer does. Huh? He creates the building and erects the bridges and everything. So Brahma is the first created son of the Lord who creates this world and everything. And then Prabhupada says when Yamadutas are coming to catch Ajamila, so that Prabhupada is saying, the constables of the superintendent of death, they came to catch Ajamila, he says. So he is calling Yamaraj by what name? Superintendent of death. And he is calling uh, Yamadutas as constables. It's very easy to understand, right now? Because you see the police constable coming and arresting some sinner, somebody, and then taking him to the police station, putting him behind the bars. So Prabhupada has made the language so simple, easy to understand. That is why, according to Deshkalapatra, Prabhupada has made the Shastras in very simple English. Till Prabhupada, before Prabhupada, all the Acharyas have given Sanskrit commentaries for all the books. But Bhagavatam also, there are a dozen commentaries. All are in Sanskrit. And many of us who may not be learned in Sanskrit, you may not be able to decode everything. And there was some inaccessibility because of that. And Prabhupada, what he did, he kept all the Acharya's commentary in the front and picked up all the easy things, items to understand and put it in English language. Now the whole Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Prabhupada has made commentaries in English and then translated it to 80 other languages. You can imagine, so lucidly Prabhupada made it available for the whole world. Anybody from any part of the world can understand now. So it is Srila Prabhupada who is the first person, Acharya, who made these commentaries in English and floated it all over the world. That is why his books are very special. And he gives everyday examples, very easy. Like, Prabhupada says, you chant Hare Krishna and please Lord Krishna and whole world will become happy. How he says, you put the food in the belly and all the parts of the body are nourished. Correct, no? Just like, for example, in a school, all children have to satisfy the principal. Correct, no? Or in a company, all employees have to please the CEO. Correct, no? In a state, all people have to please the chief minister. Or in a country, all the praja have to please the prime minister. Go anywhere in the world, there are plural subordinates and singular supreme. Do you agree? Show me a place where we have plural subordinates and there is no supreme. Show me one place, any of you. There is no boss. Show me a headless company. Show me. Everywhere you will find, as soon as there are plural subordinates, they need a head to guide. Similarly, we are millions of jivas in this world. Naturally, there must be a master to guide all of us. And when you please that master, and that master nourishes the subordinates, like in a school, children come to school and obey the principal, and the principal arranges for their education. Teachers come to school, obey the principal arranges for the salary. In a company, employees go to a company, align with company CEO, and then CEO arranges for the salaries. Correct, no? Similarly, we are jivas. We align with God, and God nourishes us. As simple as that. You see? Uh, and like, for example, you go to a company, the siren blows. Then you have to punch the card and you go inside. When the siren blows, again you punch the card, you have to come out. Then you get the monthly salary or whatever. So you have to abide by the company laws if you're working in a company. Similarly, we are living in the kingdom of God, which is spiritual world, or we are living in the material world. Both are God's property. You have to align with His will. If you don't align, then we invite. Even in India, for example, you are a free citizen. You have to drive the car on the left side. You have to stop the car when there is a red signal. Even free citizens have to follow laws. Hmm? Jail, you follow jail laws. Outside, you follow state laws. Everybody has to follow laws. Show me one man who doesn't follow any laws and still happy. Show me. Hmm? Where is a place where you are absolutely free? See, when you are born, you are a small kid. Mother says, hey, beta, sit here. You sit down. Eat this, eat it. Don't go out, don't go out. You are completely under the control of mother when you are newborn young boy. Then when you go to school or college, ding, 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 bell rings, you have to be in the class. Ding, 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 you have to go out to the school after that. Company also, same manner. You have to punch the card. If you don't go on time, then you don't get the salary. So we are completely under the grip of laws in this world. And nobody is free in this world. God is the only one who is ultimately totally free. Huh? So it is in our interest to align with His will and become free. When you align with God's will, you return back to Godhead. And there the world is, there is only two rules there. You are a lover of God and you don't envy God, that's all. And all living beings, they love each other with Krishna in the center. Whether it is Vrindavan or Ayodhya, if you see, all living beings are aligned with God's will. It's a happy world there. Nobody is envious. Everybody has respect for Lord and the others also. In this way, Prabhupada gives very, very simple, everyday examples. Anybody can understand. So one time Prabhupada was saying, there is only one way to go back to Godhead, which is Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Tamasa Parastat Tam Eva Vidvanati Mrityumeti Nanyah Panta Vidyate Ayanaya. This verse, Shruti Mantra says, Na Anya Panta, there is no other way. There is only one way. You have to align with yourself with Lord Purushottama, Supreme Lord. And then you can go back to Godhead. There's no other way. Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram Tam Daivatanam Paramam Cha Daivatam Patim Patinam Paramam Parastat Vidamadevam Bhuvaneshwamidhyam. He's saying that Supreme Lord is the Lord of all Devatas. He is the master of all masters, leader of all leaders. He's saying there is only one Supreme capital GOD. Everybody else is small GOD. In India also there are many chief ministers, but prime minister is only one. God is also one supreme amongst many crores of devatas like that. Yasmat param na paramasti kinchit. Beyond him, there is nobody. He is the ultimate. And he's called by many names. You can call him as Krishna, Rama, Allah, Jehovah. Many names. Sun is called as Ravi, Dinakar, Bhaskar, Surya, Suraj, so many names. But sun is only one. Similarly, God is one, addressed by different names in different religions. Like we say, Yasmat Param Na Param Asti Kinchit, beyond him there is no one. So Muslims say, La ilah illillah. Same meaning. Beyond him there is no one. It's the same. In everybody you will find. Similarly, we say, Karishye Vachanam Tava, whatever you say, I will do, my Lord, Arjuna is saying. Christians are saying, Oh Lord, thy will be done, not my will. I align with your will. And Muslims are saying, Insha Allah, they are saying, which means let Allah's will be followed, not our own will. All religions talk the same thing. If you see, there's only one Supreme Lord. Align with Him. Turning away from Him is our misfortune. facing him and following him is our good fortune. So Prabhupada taught universal spirituality relevant to every human being, not only human being, every creature in this world. Uh, and that is why he became successful all over the world. He didn't present it only as a Hinduism in a limited pocket like a frog in the well conception. He gave it actually for all people of all dharma to follow. He told the Christians also, if you don't want to follow Hare Krishna chant, if you want to read your Bible and become a better Christian, you take this knowledge and you become a better Christian or a better Muslim. If you don't want to chant Hare Krishna also, you have to chant the ultimate name of God. They also chant Hallelujah and they glorify Jehovah. Prabhupada said, but you practice your dharma purely. Don't go to church to ask for bread. Now we used to sing in our convent days. Oh Lord, hallowed be thy name. Give us our daily bread. Like that we used to sing. Huh? So we used to do it as small children. Prabhupada said, we are not a bread-seeking religion. We are a bread-giving religion, Prabhupada said. Yashoda is telling Krishna, hey, Krishna, come here, take bread and butter. She is feeding him. Yashoda is saying, give us my daily bread. She's not asking. So Prabhupada said, you don't demand God for anything. God will already is giving you bread without your asking only. Even for atheist, he is giving bread. Because even an atheist is Krishna's child only. Everybody is God's child. He is giving you water, he is giving you bread, he is giving everything. Don't ask him. You go to him to express your affection. Huh? You chant and dance his holy name and express your affection for him. So many Christians in America, some of them wanted to continue that practice, but they became purer Christians. So, in this way, Prabhupada was very simple in his presentation. He made very elevated devotional moods, he made it very easy. Like, for example, in the spiritual world, Krishna relates with, his devotees in 5 different rasas. Either in the Shantras or some are his servants, some are his friends, some are like his parents, some are his lovers. These are all advanced subject. Prabhupada made it very easy. So he coined a word called mellow. He said, in the spiritual world, there are all devotional mellows. And he said, in this world, some of you may like mango juice, right? In this season especially. Mango juice you may like, or you may like pineapple juice. Some of you may like apple juice. You all have taste for different fruits. Similarly, you may hate Kerala juice or bitter gourd juice, correct now? Similarly, in your relationship, think of some people with whom your relationship is like mango juice. Like my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, we have a sweet relationship. And think of some people who are like Kerala juice. As soon as they come, you run away. I don't want to see this person. So Prabhupada said, just as the juices produce certain feelings in you, similarly the spiritual world has relationships with the Lord, sweet relationships. In this way, he made it very easy for us to understand how to attain Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Very advanced subjects, he made it very easy to understand. Like Prabhupada says, see, I have read so many Bhagavad Gitas before coming to Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. Nobody told me this one point. I used to have a question. Krishna is God, is Anantakoti Brahmanda Nayak, but he is driving the chariot of Arjuna. Arjuna is inferior. He's a devotee and God is superior. Why is God driving the chariot of his devotee? Nobody told this. Until I came to Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada said, the Lord loves his devotees so much, he feels great joy in assuming a subordinate position to his devotees and putting devotees in a superior position and be ordered by them. He writes it in the Bhagavad Gita. That's called as Bhakta Vatsala Govinda. So he says that. Just as sometimes, and he gives an example immediately. There was one president of one country called Gladstone, and 200 people are waiting outside to meet him. He said, no, I am super busy. All of you wait outside. The door was slightly open, so one man peeped and saw, what is Mr. Gladstone doing? So the Gladstone was actually becoming like a horse and putting his small son on his back, riding on his back, and he was going round and round in the office. And the man laughed, hey, president of the country is riding like a horse. and his son is driving him sitting on his back. So Prabhupada was telling this example and said, a father is big, son is small, but father may take his son on his back out of love, affection. Huh? Similarly, Krishna is putting Arjuna on the back and he is driving the chariot out of affection. So in this way, Prabhupada makes very complex subjects very easy. Complex philosophical concepts very simplified. Mm. He makes very intricate linguistic nuances understandable even laypersons. Prabhupada wanted to show the world that even Americans can recite the shlokas with perfect, spashta pronunciation. So he made this asterisk marks, like how to recite the shlokas. Many American devotees nowadays can recite very beautifully. Mm. He has given the Sanskrit pronunciation guide with English. You all know that? If you take A, it is A. If you put a line above A, it is Ah. Similarly, if you say put yes, it is Sa. If you put yes and apostrophe, it is Sha. Correct, no? If you put yes and put a dot below, it is Shanmukam. Huh? Say say all of you. That is Sha. Huh? And if you put yes and put apostrophe, it is Shiva Shiva Shambho. Huh? Shish. That is it like this. Difference is there, no? This Shiva, that is Kshanmukha. So yes, if you put a dot below, it is Sha. So Prabhupada made this asterisk symbols and everything. Made Sanskrit easily pronounceable by even Westerners also. Many Westerners recite very easily now. Which means Prabhupada has opened the door to the whole world to access the Vedic literature in a very easy manner. So that everybody can study. Prabhupada's point is why only Indians should benefit. This Prabhupada says Krishna is not an Indian. Prabhupada says Krishna is Supreme Lord. He says in 14.4, Sarvayonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavanti yaha tasam brahma mahatyonir aham bija pradahapita. My dear Arjun, know for sure that there are 8.4 million species of life, and I am the seed-giving father of all these species, he says. Not only humans, he is the father of all creatures. So, Krishna belongs to the whole creation, then why not help the creation get access to Krishna? He's such a compassionate Acharya, you can see. He reached out to nook and corner of the world. So, in this way, he has made the scriptures easily approachable by all of us, even in this day and age. But nowadays, what is happening? Most of the youths, they are looking for some short clips. They go to Instagram, and then if somebody has put some half a minute or 15 seconds clip, they just see. Like one boy was telling me, Rashanpu, you speak so well. He said, what did you hear? Then he said, I saw in your Instagram some small clip. I said, oh, that is only a small cutting. You should go to the actual lecture. He said, oh, Prabhuji, your lectures are all too big. 1.5 hours, 2 hours you speak. My Lord, I don't know, maybe in some future lifetime I can hear. So I said, hey, see, for getting this one engineering degree, 15 years you studied, isn't it? In your life, LKG, UKG, first standard, fifth standard, 10th standard, then 12th standard, then you tried a competitive exam, then 4 years of engineering, 50 papers you have to pass. And then you get a degree, right now? How do you expect a spiritual degree to come by hearing one small Instagram clip? Huh? Isn't it? You have to. But no pains, no gains. You should be willing to invest energy. I don't say you accept only me as a teacher. There are many other wonderful preachers also. You find out some spiritual teacher, a good Vaishnava, whom you are very inspired by, and you should be willing to regularly invest time. If you are really serious about going back to Godhead and living a happy life in this world and happy life forever, if you want. So you definitely need to do. For example, every day you brush your teeth, correct now? If you don't brush your teeth, your mouth will sting. If you don't take a bath, your body will stink. If you don't chant the holy names, your mind will stink. How do you know your mind is stinking? Unnecessarily, you'll become angry with people. And wherever you turn around, you'll become lusty. And your mind will have too much greed. I want this, I want that, I want everything. I want the whole world, like that mind will say. So, which means our mind will stink because we are not cleansing the mind by chanting the holy name. Similarly, if you don't study the scriptures like Gita Bhagavatam or hearing the lectures, then your intelligence cannot be strengthened. When your intelligence is strong, intelligence can subdue the fickle mind and impure senses and keep them under control. If you don't strengthen your intelligence, the mind and senses will go out of control, like a mad elephant. A mad elephant can destroy things, it cannot do any good. But a trained elephant can do good things like giving blessings and ashirwad and everything. A trained elephant can do a lot of good work. It can carry a lot on the back and give blessings and all that. Mad elephant can kill people, frighten people, isn't it? So, how do you want your mind to be? If you want your mind to be trained, then you need a very strong intelligence based on the scriptures. Viveka buddhi, you will develop when you study the scriptures. And Prabhupada makes the scriptures very easy for us. His books are very, very simple. And he has written so many books. See here, these books are put in 4 categories. You can see here. So, what you do, you begin with the small books. On the Way to Krishna. I think it is too small. I can make it a little bigger for you if you want. Want to see? You can see now? See? You start with the small books, On the Way to Krishna, Elevation to Krishna Consciousness, Krishna Matchless Gifts. These are all small, small books. So in Pune, we started something called as sport. Sport, anybody can guess what sport stands for? Srila Prabhupada Online Reading Team. That is called sport. So we announced, any of you would like to join our sport? Many people came running. I like sports very much. I said, our sport is reading Prabhupada books. you know. So we have more than 100 sport groups in our Pune community there. And some are run by Mataji, some are run by Prabhuji, some are run by boys, mentors, different people. And each sport group may have sometimes 10 people. Some groups have even 80, 100 people also. It varies because the preacher is very effective, powerful. Many want to join that. And some of them are for this category 1 books, category 2 books. Different books are going on. One devotee started with these categories and he finished all Prabhupada books in the last few years. Completed all the books of Prabhupada. You can see. So in this way, it's nicely categorized. So if you have and if you join online, sometimes alone you may find it difficult to read and understand. If you have like elder brother or elder sister, somebody who is explaining spiritual concepts, it becomes easy for you. So joining such a group, I would suggest that some of the brahmacharis start such groups. Some of the senior boys also start such groups. Just now I was talking in the car to So Krishna Prabhu, correct, no? He was telling that he runs such a group. Every day he has a Bhagavad Gita, 9 to 9:30 or something in the night, one shloka he speaks on. So one is also such a lecture on one shloka. You read the shloka, translation, purport, and little elaboration. And another thing, in our reading of Prabhupada books, what we do is 75% reading it is. Only 25% explanation. If you read for 20 minutes, which means 15 minutes reading and 5 minutes explanation. Because sometimes the discussion becomes too long. Therefore, we want to make sure pages are also covered. So we do like that. So it's a good practice. So we can have many, many sport groups like that. And that will aid you in reading. In America also, when we do this kind of groups, many, many boys join. It makes it easy for them. Small drops of water make a ocean. Every day you are reading 20, 20 minutes or 15 minutes you are hearing. And you learn a lot of philosophy over the years. Over months, you learn a lot of philosophy. And also coming in a group, what is the advantage? I heard a little story. Once some 20, 25 birds were flying here and there searching for food. And when they saw in one forest down there were a lot of grains spreaded out. So they all came and sat and ate the grains. Little did they realize that we are eating the grains, but the claws were getting caught in one net. And then they realized it later on after eating. They looked at each other very sadly and said, alas, although we have filled up our belly now, we are at a great loss now because our lives are under threat now. Because some hunter has put this net, our legs are caught. Now we have no way to escape. And the hunter was coming towards them. One bird said, anyway, we have to die. Hunter is going to roast and eat us. Why not give one last try? Huh? He said, let all of us exert together and flap our wings. And they all flapped their wings together, very, very forcefully, as much as they could. Guess what happened? The net with its 4 nails, that came out. And all the birds could fly up in the sky along with the net. And the hunter was shouting, yelling. But they flew to a faraway place and went to another old friends who was a rat, and the rat removed all the net and they could save their lives. So, what's the moral of the story? If you come together as a sport group, study together, you will all get liberated together. In a group, it's very easy, but alone it is difficult to do. In group, you get the strength. Because, for example, every day you have fixed time, 9 to 9:15 or something like that. You know the timing. I have to connect on Zoom now. Read together. This is one of the easiest ways you can connect. And another thing, you see, in His Holiness Jayapadaka Swami's, the Bhakti Vriksha, they have this system here. If you see here, Krishna Sevak, Krishna Sadhak, Srila Prabhupada Ashray, Guru Charan Ashray. These books are compulsory. They have to complete. Krishna Sevak means you are a 4-rounder. Krishna Sadhak means you are an 8-rounder. And Srila Prabhupada Ashray means you are a 16-rounder. And Sri Guru Charan Ashray means you have already finished one year of 16 rounds. Now you take shelter of some Guru. And then these are books you have to read. So they have put these books. So based on these books, they conduct a test also. They conduct. When you read these books and then you give a test. So in this way, they have kept it compulsory so that we want to make sure that you get the correct blueprint of life. And you know what Prabhupada is teaching in his books. So in this way, you can lay a good foundation for your spiritual life. And I'll show you a few slides, 6 minutes, and then we can take some. Prabhupada says, learn to recite the verses without seeing the book. Prabhupada is saying. If I find Prabhupada is saying, not that the book is kept, I am a very learned scholar. What kind of learned scholar? If I find the book, then I can speak. No, that's not scholarship. You must chant. Therefore, we are teaching in our Dallas children simply to learn Sanskrit. They have nothing to do. So Prabhupada is saying that you should read Prabhupada's book so thoroughly that you can quote the shlokas. Prabhupada said you should be like a lawyer, he said. Like somebody is saying something, immediately you can quote. 14.4, Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Yonisha Kaunteya. You can quote immediately. 7.1, you say Bhagavad Gita is for developing detachment. Krishna says Bhagavad Gita is for developing attachment to Krishna. 7.1. Maya saktamana partha yogam yunjan madashrayah asamshayam samagrammam yada jnasasi tat shrunu. Arjuna, hear from me how you can develop attachment for me, Krishna is saying. So in this way, anybody says anything can immediately quote. Somebody is saying, I think ultimate God is impersonal. Immediately can quote. Go to 7.24. Abjaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mama buddhayah. Anybody who thinks I was impersonal before, now I have become personal, he is unintelligent, Krishna is saying. And go to 14.27. Krishna is saying, Brahmano hi pratishtaham. I am the support of the impersonal Brahman. He is telling. Go to 12.1 and 2. Arjuna is asking. Maya Veshamano Yemam Nitya Yukta Upasate Saddaya Parayopetas Teme Yukta Tamam Mataha. Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are asking me, personal worship is great or impersonal worship is great. Those bhaktas who worship me with great faith and devotion, that path is the greatest. Krishna is openly saying that. So, if you know where is what in Bhagavad Gita, so like a boy is saying that I don't worry about God, you can say, how can you not worry about God? The whole world is the property of God. Not only material world and spiritual world, both are Krishna's property. And the boy will ask you, what is the proof? Immediately, Bhumirapo 7.4. Bhumirapo analo vajukam mano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yam me. Krishna is telling. Prabhupada used to say that me very strongly. Me means mine. Bhinna prakritirashtada. These 8 tattvas, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego, all these tattvas were created by me and they belong to me, he says. Then he's saying, apareyamitastu anyam. Besides this material world, there is anyam, there is one more. Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim viddhi me param jiva bhavtam mahabaho jayedam dharyate jagat. There also he says, apareyam itastu anyam prakritim viddhi me param. That spiritual world also is mine only, he's saying. I created material world, I created. So anything you touch here, you have to ask Krishna immediately. Huh? If any atheist says, I'm an atheist, say, don't touch the grains. Because you have to ask Krishna permission. And you catch his nose immediately. Tell him you cannot take any air to breathe. Because Krishna has only created the air. For example, if I want your bike, what I should do? Two things I have to ask you. Can I take your bike? And you may say, yes, you can take. How long can I use? Correct, no? You may say, Prabhuji, you can use it for a couple of hours, then I also have to use it. Then I have to give it back to you. Similarly, anything in this world you want to touch, you have to ask Krishna, sir, can I take it? Can I take the grain? Therefore, we offer to Krishna Bhoga before we eat. Huh? So, Prabhupada in this way wanted all of us to know the shlokas. Anybody says anything, immediately Prabhupada would knock down with a shloka from the Gita. Prabhupada said, we have to be like lawyers, like Indian Penal Code, they quote, no? Like that, we have to go Bhagavad Gita Penal Code. Huh? It's quote like that. Yeah, and be fluent to preach and save the country, Prabhupada says. So we want to create new generation in your country so that in future there will be fluent speakers in Shrimad Bhagavatam and preach all over the country. And the country will be saved. So we should be very eloquent in the subject. We can't afford to be, many of the Indian boys, girls, you know, nowadays students, they're watching so many Hollywood, Bollywood movies, they're watching Netflix movies, they're watching YouTube videos and everything. And with respect to spiritual substance, they are a big puja, big zero. They have no knowledge at all. So therefore Prabhupada wrote these books and made this institution ISKCON, made many brahmacharis, grihasthas, sannyasis and everybody. So there are also teachers available, institution is available, books are available, prasadam is available, deities are available to give darshan, and the culture is available, how to dress, how to eat, how to deal with one another. Everything he has given us. We just have to receive these gifts. See, to get purified, pronounce the verses very nicely. Therefore, we are repeating. You hear the records and you try to repeat. Simply by chanting the mantra, you will be purified. Prabhupada says. When you recite the shlokas, you get purified. Yeah. And then to learn to by heart the prayers and you pray. Each and every verse you should chant very perfectly, nicely, meditate upon it. Then you make advancement in spiritual life. This is prayer. So this is another advantage of the prarthanas in the Bhagavatam. If you memorize them, like Prahlad Maharaj prayers, if you recite, you'll feel so jolly, so joyful. There are 45, 50 verses. So he says that memorize these shlokas and offer it as a prayer to the deities. Prabhupada is saying, be Krishna's lawyer, not liar or bluffer. Present Shastric logical argument. Develop spiritual attachment. Uh, and then respectfully read the sacred books. And remember Krishna at the time of death. Because you have already been studying and remembering and absorbing and practicing. Easily you can remember the Lord at the time of death. One nurse came to our Pune temple. She was sitting behind. I was giving a class. So I was telling in the class that anyone at the time of death calls out the Lord's name or remembers the Lord will go back to Godhead. After the class over, she came and said, Swamiji, I never knew this. I am a nurse in the hospital. Last week, one old man died. While dying, he asked me what I should do now. I am going to die now. She told him, don't make noise, just die silently. That's all I said. I didn't know, she said. So I said, instead of him shouting, instead of that, you can tell him to shout Rama. Isn't it? So then immediately she took a mala. That's all. Now she said, whoever comes to hospital, they come to ICU, I tell them to chant the holy name. Because many people don't know these things. You can be truly a rich man, Prabhupada says, by being a regular reader. If you know the spiritual substance, you know the shlokas, you know the philosophy, it's like having a lot of money rolling in, Prabhupada saying. It's like being a prosperous and famous and victorious. You have the real wealth. All other wealth in this world will be left behind, correct, no? They are not going to come with you. Just like in an airport when you go, you show the hand like this, correct, no? They check, hey, do you have anything in your pocket? They tell you, remove the knife, remove the blade and everything. Similarly, when you are going at the time of death, Yamutas will tell you, sure, don't take anything with you. Huh? You have to leave. But one thing you can take with you is this knowledge of Gita, Bhagavatam, and your chanting of the holy name which you do. That will go with you. So let us take one or two questions. Hear well before speaking, develop an intense desire to hear. Prabhupada saying. Let us take one question. It's getting late. Anybody would like to ask me any question? Yeah, give the mic. Who has the mic? Yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Actually.
So my question is whenever like there is a difficulties going on, like suppose in professional life or personal life, and then we try to solve that things. Instead, we don't take the shelter. Like suppose our spiritual life also.
You want an instant solution at that time.
Yes, correct. And like suppose like we were doing chanting, and if you are reading books as well and hearing lecture, but that time like due to that turmoil we reduce the spiritual activity. Instead, we try to do the solve that sufferings and whatever. So how to take a strong shelter in such cases, whenever this happens?
Yeah. See, we face both the situations in life, correct? No? Sometimes you are confident, sometimes you are tired, sometimes you are healthy, sometimes you are sick, sometimes facing a near and dear one passes away. Sometimes you are jolly, sometimes you get a bad news. You got poor marks, isn't it? You're shocked. See, she got A grade, she got F grade. These things happen in our life. Life is always full of ups and downs, correct? No? Sometimes your business is skyrocketing, sometimes it is nosediving due to COVID or something. Huh? Like that. Sometimes you are respected by all, other times someone insults you. So sometimes your life is so cool, like a smooth sailing ship, you see. Now life is very calm, you are happy. And sometimes life is like this, like a storm, isn't it? So our situations change in life. So therefore, when time is like this is the best time you can equip yourself with more spiritual substance. Like right now, your life is cool now. So then you should chant Hare Krishna, read Prabhupada books. And just like in Pune, we have a battalion near our camp temple. Left, right, left, about, left, left. Like that, the morning they make sounds and they are going. So one devotee was asking, Prabhuji, there is no war at all. Why are they wasting time? Early morning getting up and walking. See, I said they are preparing. When he was saying that, the next week the Kargil war came that time. Huh? Then immediately more than 100 soldiers came to our temple. They came and offered obeisances, they were going. So I met them all. We were giving them prasadam to them. They were all in uniform. They said, we are all going to Kargil war. They said, we asked, when are you coming back? They said, we can't say. We may not come back also. We may die in the battle, or we may conquer and come back also. But we are prepared. So then I asked them, so how long you took training? Oh, some of them said 10 years or 15 years they have taken training. Now they know how to shoot. They know what to do when, very, very thoroughly trained. So when situation was cool, they were taking training. Now there is a war situation, they're ready to fight the battle. Same thing with us. Now situation is cool now. You equip yourself with load yourself with the training very nicely. Then there is actual situation, you put in situation, then you can face it. Huh? Like Krishna says, hope for the best and be prepared for the worst. Huh? So Arjuna also in those 12 years when he was in the forest, he was not sleeping. He went to heavenly planets and got some celestial weapons from Indra. He got Pashupatastra from Shiva, Many, many weapons he got. He prepared himself and then the war came, he used them. Similarly, we should not wait for the trouble to come in our life. Before the trouble comes, we have to equip ourselves. Say, for example, a man is going to forest to fetch some, diamond or gold or anything. His friend told him, hey, you're going into deep jungle, better break a branch of a tree, carry it on your shoulder. If tiger or cheetah comes on the way, you just wave it around them, they will run away out of fear. The man said, what is this? Carrying a heavy tree branch on the shoulder would be very painful. I would rather walk with free hands. And in case cheetah comes, I can always break a branch. He said, it's a good idea. By the time you tear a branch, they will finish you. Correct, no? So you should equip yourself. Intelligent student means equip yourself well in advance. Don't wait for the mishap to happen. Like we have this, what do you call it? One bridge was having a crack. One man reported to the station master there. Station master said, Tika, karenge, he said. Then 1 week passed, 2 weeks passed. Then practically for 3 months, there nobody took action. Repeatedly, this fellow complained 2, 3 times. And the crack became catastrophe, we say, no? Hmm. Crack increased. Once when Rajdhani Express was going over the bridge collapsed. Although Rajdhani is a beautiful train, it's a AC train fully, comfortable train, but 20, 30 people died in that. Because a stitch in time saves time. So that means the reporting was done, but that those fellows didn't take action. Similarly, in our life, we should not wait for the calamity to come. Before the calamity comes, we have to be prepared for the calamity. Like you go to war, you have a kavach and you have a sword in the hand. So kavach will prevent you from attack of the enemies. And sword can make you advance in enemy's army. Correct, no? If enemy is attacking, you just show this kavach. And then you go ahead, taking the sword in the hand. So you have to go with the weapons. You can't go with bare hands and expect everything will be all right. Correct. Is it clear?
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam.
Dandavad?
Prabhuji, my question is like this. I am very a lazy person, and you're talking about we have to be a discipline. To how to convert myself from lazy person to that discipline level.
See, that's 1 minute. Hmm? See, comfort zone means what? Everyday activities, you keep doing the same things, mixing with the same people, you don't learn very much, you don't develop yourself. It's simply more or less of the same. And you are in a shrinking zone, you don't grow in life. You are not. So then this comfort zone, it's called as coffin. Comfort is coffin. You know what is coffin? Coffin is a place where the dead bodies are put for burying. So comfort zone is like coffin. You don't grow at all. So therefore, one has to take initiative. Why? To come to stretch zone. If you really want to see you grow in life. Like bodybuilders, what they do, they take weightlifting, they do. They add little weights. Initially, you lift 50 pounds. Then you add 10 more pounds, 20 more pounds. Then add 20 more. Then your stamina increases. So your bodily stamina can increase. Your mind also is like muscles. Mind stamina can also be increased. Your mind can face very, very stressful, challenging situations also if you strengthen your mind. And the strengthening of the mind and intelligence happens by discipline. In those days, people will take a sankalpa vow and fulfill the vow. Like I'll climb the Tirupati Balaji temple without going in a car, I'll go by foot. Any of you climbed up by foot? Yeah, the many have done. So that's a sankalpa. You take it and then once you climb, once you get tremendous inner confidence you develop by that. Similarly, kings would go to forest and sit under meditation, chant the mantras, in a deep jungle and all alone and withdraw the mind from the diffused mind race. They will all withdraw it and then focus it at one focal point on the Lord's form. So we are also doing the daily morning chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ra, Ram Ram. Initially, when you are chanting one round, it will appear like climbing a big mountain. You'll be wondering when will the Ranj one will, that final one will come. It looks like an endless chain going on and on. You will think like that. But eventually, you start chanting 4 rounds, 8 rounds. Now you can chant even 16 rounds also. That means your willpower has increased. So, in this way, in our society, we teach the students to chant 16 rounds and following 4 regs. Discipline gives you empowerment. How it gives you empowerment, I'll give you many examples can be given. Say when you're sending a kite up, do you cut it with a blade and throw it? Or you keep a spool and release it? What do you do? Huh? You know spool? You keep a spool and slowly release it. Then only kite will go up. If you're going to cut it and throw it, it will go and get stuck in a tree. Huh? Similarly, you will see, your plant in the garden, if you don't trim it, it doesn't look beautiful. That is a discipline. It will grow unevenly in all directions. Look at the traffic in the road. It is guided by a policeman who shows by disciplining the traffic, everything can move smoothly. With no traffic policeman, there'll be either jam or there'll be accident. Either of the two. Look at the gas cylinder which your mother may be using. She has a, what do you call that? Regulator. That is a discipline. Without the discipline of the regulator, there'll be explosion. There'll be danger. So everywhere you will see where there is discipline, the end result is good. Hmm? Like water which is going like a flood, it can do no good. Water which is flood can only destroy things. But if you have a dam, which is controlled with three walls, this side, this side, this side, then the water can be used for irrigation purposes whenever you want. So dam has potential energy, and flood has kinetic energy, which is destructive. Flood is destructive, and dam is constructive. So you want to be like your mind to be like a dam or like a flood, like a dam. So we have to discipline. So then you go to the stretch zone, which is area of novelty or exploration or adventure. You know, you are willing to go a extra mile and give out a try, but you don't have to go to panic zone. See, that fellow is thinking, well, can I jump and see what it feels? Huh? That's very dangerous. Huh? You don't want to go to panic zone. The panic zone means, things which you cannot do that will discourage you if you do it. Huh? So, like rubber band, for example, this is stretch zone. If you pull like this, it will break. Huh? So, don't go to panic zone, but don't stay in comfort zone. Hmm. You see here, comfort zone means lifeless, secure, bored, comfortable, easy, comfort zone. See the stretch zone? Excited, challenged, expectant, alive, anticipating. What is panic zone? Stressed, tired, fearful, tense, annoyed, anxious. You can see that. So we are saying be in the yellow zone. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. I think I have spoken on one topic called taking initiative. I'll just check if I have it. You can see that. Yeah, it is there. You can see this seminar, taking initiative in preaching and coming out of comfort zone. You can see that. Taking initiative in preaching and coming out of comfort zone. So for students, it's such a nice thing that will show you the importance of taking initiative. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Who else? Now it is almost 3:30. I have another meeting also. One last question we can take. Anybody?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Dandat Pranam. Thank you for explaining the importance of book. Actually, we are staying on the base. We have all the books with us, but what we are doing, we are directly reading the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we have done device. After that, we are not read the all small books. We have directly jumped to the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, is it okay or?
It's not very okay. It's good to begin with smaller books. What I had done was I took all the Prabhupada's 80 books and made one series called as Essence of Bhagavad Gita in those days. So Essence of Bhagavad Gita had first one called as Spiritual Scientist, then Positive Thinker, then Self-Manager, then Proactive Leader, and Personal Development. In those days I published the books, but the books are pretty exhaustive and a lot of activities were subjective questions. So students found it difficult to answer subjective questions. So I didn't print the book again. So those books are like a quintessence of Prabhupada's books. So otherwise, it's always good. You can read Gita Bhagavatam, but you should have the habit of completing the small, medium, bigger books of Prabhupada because they are actually more foundational and many of your questions will be clarified in the smaller books. And then otherwise, when you go to Bhagavatam, many questions will arise and a lot of time will be spent in getting answers. Yeah, it's like it's good to start with algebra first and then go to calculus. Correct now? Gradually we can go to higher. Thank you. There was one hand up there. Please give the mic.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for wonderful class. So Prabhuji, we have interest in reading Srila Prabhupada books, but due to lack of time management, we don't have the habit. So how to develop habit of reading Srila Prabhupada books regularly, just as we have a habit of chanting holy names?
Just do 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes is not a very big deal. Especially you make it at a fixed time of the day, like say night 8:45 to 9 or 9 to 9:15, something like that. 15 minutes. So at least small drops of water to make ocean, little by little. Instead of doing nothing, you can do little, at least. Some boys, what they do, they come for lunch to their base. So immediately after finishing lunch, they read 15 minutes. Like that, it's called a queuing, we call it. Queuing means you put this along with one more activity. Then it happens perfectly. Hmm? It's a question of habit.
Yeah.
I can show you one. How our habits form. Sound? Where is it? Become actions, actions become habits, and habits become our way of life. So you have a choice. Huh? So how you form habits is shown here. So if you want to Actually, this is in PICT college. I spoke on this healthy habits. So these kind of students topics, which have a good blend of both Krishna consciousness and also this thing. For example, if you go here, any topic, I told initiative I put. Similarly, you put the topic habits. And you click it, you will get on habits. There are many lectures on habits. Similarly, you put focus. Focus and concentration will come. See, gaining focus, the world of distractions, art of concentration, focus. So, and similarly, yeah, past impressions, creating positive impressions in the mind, past life memories. Okay. So, like this, different topics I've been speaking on because the students need help in these kind of themes. So, this is a very big topic on Prabhupada books, but I touched keeping in mind what would be good for students to think about this. But if you make it a habit, just like I told you, brushing teeth or taking bath, make it a habit to read 15, 20 minutes every day, proper small book, medium books. You will immensely benefit. What I do generally in the morning, as soon as I get up and go to bathroom, I put on Prabhupada's lectures. There's Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam lectures, Prabhupada lectures. I have what do you call it, a recording, hearing device, a smartphone. But it's a smartphone without any SIM card, just for hearing purpose. So I put it on the morning, when I shave, when I take bath, I finish 2, 3 lectures of Prabhupada, 20, 20 minutes each. And I hear it at 2x speed, I hear. So in this I have been hearing for years. I completed the whole Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita and I'm doing second time now. So it's very good if you keep hearing little, 20 minutes, 30 minutes during prasadam, I hear. I keep it with me all the time. I just keep, whenever there's like an airport when I am going also, sometimes the queue is very long in the early morning. You just keep one Prabhupada's book. And I finished 25 pages. When you're just going in the little inch by inch, you are moving in the queue. You can finish so much. So we can utilize wherever we have time to read Prabhupada books and hear Prabhupada lectures. Because Prabhupada is our founder Acharya. So his lectures and his books are very vital for us. And many of you may be delighting in hearing small clips from various people. Those should be secondary. This can be made the primary food. For example, in your prasadam plate, you have rice, dal, sabji, chapati. They are main. Then you can take fryams, chutney and all. Can you take this much fryams? And no rice or dal? Or can you take this much chutney? What will happen? Tomorrow you'll have a problem when you go to bathroom. So you should take rice, dal, sabji, chapati should be main. That is the Prabhupada lectures and Prabhupada's books. So here Nigdi devotees, our Ravet temple brahmacharis are telling there are many bases here, 3, 4 bases plus more than 4, 5 youth centers. So I was very, very happy to hear the news that, and also very delighted to see so many of you here. So you all are getting such a good opportunity here. Preachers are available for you. Beautiful big temple hall is available. There is Harnam Sankirtan going on every week. The prasadam is available. So these devotees are creating facility, a platform for you to practice. When you are a young boy, you can practice well. And afterwards, when you go for the job and your life becomes busy, this will be a good foundation for you. And in this stage, if you take it. And don't while away your day without any spiritual input, because later on the storm will come. Therefore, I told you, time of calm, time of storm. So when time is calm, you equip yourself. Okay? Shri Prabhupada ki, Bhakta Vrinda ki,